Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. Hey, I want to take this time to honestly thank everybody who has been looking at my videos, checking my videos, and leaving a like, leaving a comment. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been grinding at this thing for a while and I see a little traction, but I just need a little more. Now I came on here just to do a little hot topics real quick. These few topics that I'm going to discuss, I know I'm a little bit late to the party. I just let things unfold. I don't like to jump on it right away because I like to see what happened. A lot of times people start in the middle and they don't get the beginning and the end. They just start in the middle. So before I talk about certain things, I let a few days go by because I want to see what the outcome really is. Okay? So the people I'm going to discuss today happen to be two females that I'm tired of seeing out here in these damn YouTube streets. Like, go sit down somewhere and get the help that you need. The first person I'm going to talk about is this KeKe Jones lady. The lady who was on the cruise and said her husband was embarrassed, didn't love her, and then she had this big crash out. Everybody's been talking about her. She has been on some interviews. People have said one thing or another. Leave that guy. What are you crashing out for? You're this, you're that. Hey, in my opinion, watching this again, not in the middle, but from the beginning to the end, we looked at a lady whose husband was mistreating her, who probably in our eyes and mind felt like, he probably married her and was using her. But it was more to it than that. That lady knew what she was getting into. She knew he was involved with somebody else. She knew he was still in love with his ex-wife. She knew he was married when she first met him. The family have came out and said this lady's crazy. She's on meds. Her kids live with her mom. Her family don't have nothing to do with her. They had to uninvite her to certain family events because of her behavior. She has a self-esteem problem. But see, when she first came out, she made all of us feel sorry for her. That lady had that bottle in her hand and that wedding dress on, all up on these YouTube streets and the camera crying, he left me, cheated, and all this. And come to find out there's a whole nother other side to that. That's why I say I don't start in the middle. I like to see what's happening and what's going on before I do any type of commentary. Something is wrong with her and she needs help. She done went over there to that man's house, caused that ruckus, tried to act like he harmed her, but she was the one pulled the pile on him. He ended up going to jail down there in Harris County. The family had to get money together and bail him out. The young man's fat mother, ex-wife and cousin or somebody came and they all had the same story. She is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That lady has no business being in a relationship. She made y'all feel so sorry for her because other men before her, before him, have came and used her and hurt her. She really thought she found the one. You were a rebound. And this will we be saying for men and women. Do not get in relationships with people who had a relationship prior to yours and is still fresh. If they haven't been away from that person for a significant amount of time and got them out their system, you're just a rebound person. There's always that slim chance they're going to go back to their first love or the previous relationship. And she just got caught up. Then she said he spent all her money. That lady does not need nothing but therapy. Ayana, if you hear me, Yana Van Zant, however you say her name, get that girl some help. That lady needs to get back. We need Yana back out here in these YouTube streets for real, doing interviews on some of these crash out victims because this is really sad. I feel sorry for her in a sense that she felt in her mind, in her brain, and psychologically, she felt she found the one and he loved her just as much as she loved him. And we can all sit there and see in those photos and interactions that's not the case. Now, the wedding looked real good, but hey, if you didn't love her, man, why marry her? There had to have been red flags that she was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs prior to you doing that. So either you needed a place to stay or needed something from her at the time until you got your life together and was able to run back over there to your first love and your first wife. So I call bullshit on both ends. BS on his end, playing the victim to a certain degree because you didn't have to marry her. There's no way this lady, as crazy as this lady is, she didn't give you some signs. There's no way. And BS on her behalf because she's playing poor me, I'm the victim. And it looks that way because let's just say, I mean, let's be honest, she's probably not traditionally the most attractive lady we've seen. She's not probably the most confident lady we've seen. Okay, so you put those two together, she got some self-esteem issues. She knows she's probably not as attractive as maybe the first wife or the other girls he's looking at. So I can see why she's crashing out. But there was red flags everywhere in this relationship. That lady has a mental issue that needs to be addressed, and she needs therapy. And it's a shame that we can't commit people to mental institutions anymore, no more than 72 hours without, I guess, some type of waiver and a person voluntarily wanting to stay. And then insurance, has an issue, saying so in that too. But she needs help ASAP. Because in my mind, if she don't calm down and get herself together, she may harm herself. And that's what I don't want to see. However, she could be pulling all our strings. Because remember that lady, Risa Tisa, whatever her name was, who did part 1 through 62. I didn't listen to all 62. I may have listened to one or two. After that, I was done with it. She got a whole series on Netflix now coming out. Not Netflix. Is it Netflix? Netflix or Lifetime? But she got a contract with one of these um, places to make a movie about her life. Maybe they want to do that with her. So if y'all see KeKe out there, tell KeKe to chill and calm down because she might be able to profit off this. Who knows? Okay, let's move on from KeKe and we'll get into this Tamar Braxton again, all over the YouTube streets. I don't like talking about dark topics and people, having these things going on in their families and stuff. I like to just talk about the reality stuff what's going on TV. But I have to say something about Tamar. Now, when Tamar had it out with that content creator, I did a video about it because I felt that Tamar was wrong, and I still do. The only thing I'm going to hold Tamar, well, I'm not going to blame on her, is when she did the interview with her niece, the one who allegedly had an issue with her sister Trina's husband, and they covered it up all these years. And then Trina said, well, he's not here to defend himself. Defend himself from what? Okay, I appreciate her giving her niece a platform to express herself because that may want other young ladies to come out and express themselves too. So I will give Tamar credit for that. But everything else, and again, the family hiding the secrets, it's kind of weird to me because that's your brother's daughter, and the other daughter, is no longer with us. And again, like I said, I don't like talking about stuff like that because I don't like being disrespectful to people's family. But allegedly, she left this earth on alleged drug overdose, and now this girl is going through something, and she moved across the world to a whole nother country. And the families knew this. All the sisters knew this. All of them knew this. And it seemed like to me they took the side of the ex-husband than their own niece. And I don't know where the brother's at in there because if those are my daughters and those are my children and my sister's still married to that dude, and maybe that's why he don't F with them. Maybe that's why he's not on the show that much because maybe he did have resentment toward Trina because he knew what was going on. We don't know how much he knew, so we're going to not so much blame him for anything. But here's what I will say. Tamar, you love to keep mess going. And she's always been that way. Ever since Tamar jumped on the scene when the Braxton family values came out, which is now the Braxtons. Tamar has always been the brat on the show, the spoiled one on the show, always worrying Vince to death. Her and Vince basically separated and got divorced. But Tamar has always been the breakout quote star. We all knew Tony. So Tony Braxton name carried the show. But even I'm seeing a different side of Tony now. But Tamar has always been this way. And those sisters, including Tracy, who's no longer here, God rest her soul, Tracy didn't like Tamar. Tawana doesn't like Tamar. Trina tolerates Tamar. And Tony kind of just like, okay, she's a baby sister. She covers for Tamar a lot. But this particular season, when I see Tony jump out of that chair and get in Tamar's face, even Tamar pushed Tony across the edge. And Tony's usually the calmest one on the show. But like Tony always said in the Yala Van Zant interview, she said, look, if these wasn't my sisters, I wouldn't even F with them. So that tells you all you need to know. Okay. But it seems to me, because Tamar was the youngest one, they spoiled her rotten. They let her get away with a lot. Nobody ever checked her. Nobody ever corrected her. And they just let her do what she wanted to do. Now that has filtered into her life as an adult. And she does not know how to maintain friendship with her sisters, which is probably why she don't know how to maintain friendships with women outside of her sisterhood. You look at everybody that Tamar has been cool with, at some point she had a falling out with. She don't hang around any of the Atlanta girls too much anymore. Because why? Because she did something or said something out of pocket. Now she gonna sit there on TV and tell everybody, I paid for you. Well, you don't know where I live. Well, I know where you live because I gave you the down payment for your house. But you didn't have to do your sister like that. That was just disrespectful and embarrassing to your sister. You just put her on the spot. And the reason I say, I know we got issues with Tawanda. We'll get to that. And the reason I say that is when people loan you money for significant things like that, if they throw it back up in your face, then they didn't give it to you because they cared. They gave it to you because they want to be able to hold something over your head later on. You know, we're not stupid. We understand that Tamar and Tony are maybe the two most successful on the show. So it wouldn't be out of place for them to help the family out financially. You know, helping pay her mother bills, maybe loaning dad some money, maybe helping a brother out. So you don't have to say that. That's normally how this go when you have members of your family who have a little bit more income than the other members. So stop with that. You didn't have to put that on TV, but you did. Then you accuse them of stealing your credit cards, using your credit cards, and then talking about y'all interchanging. Man, you was messing with Tony's boyfriends, and you try to this this it's too dark for me. Y'all don't even need to be on TV. You're talking about the essay with your niece. Now you're talking about who slept with who boyfriend. Now you're talking about you stole my credit cards. And I get reality TV is just that, but I don't know. It just seems too much for me for the Braxtons. And y'all continue to allow Tamar to just spill the beans. And then she just threatened Tawanda today. She told Tawanda, you keep going and I'm going to tell it all. I could, a little sister like that make you want to never speak to her again. All right. Then the verses come out and she's on stage acting like she's Birdman's wife, you know. And I know a lot of people's like, well, she was theirs, that's the family. I understand that. But to me, it was a little cringy. She was just too close to him, wiping sweat off of him, dancing all behind him. And then even when he went to a private moment to talk to Tony, here she come. You don't know what trending mean. Tamar, you don't have to do all that. It just seems like you love attention and being in the spotlight. I know they had to give you the attention you needed as a child. They had to because they all look like they spoiled the shit out of you. And y'all spoiled that girl and y'all spared the rod. And this is what you got. She has to be the center of attention in all things Braxton. She got to be the center of attention. And it's probably the reason why she continues to lose friendships. Okay, so I believe everything that the content creator said about her. Something is going on with Tamar and she needs help. She swears she's in therapy. I'm not saying your therapist is not good, but they're not reaching deep down where they need to reach so you can see what's going on with you. Because y'all know my favorite word is self-awareness. Tamar lacks self-awareness. She don't see nothing. She does. She doesn't care how it affects people. She just gonna spill it out because I'm hurt. I'm going to spill it out because it's about me, me, me. You got to stop going around hurting people that's the closest to you because you're going to find yourself on an island by yourself. That's where you're going to find yourself, Tamar, because you have done this to too many people. And anybody in Tamar's circle, don't worry, your number coming up next. A leopard never changes spots. She going to run out of people to harass, and then y'all going to be the next target. Watch me. Mark my word. Mark my word. And the last person I'm going to discuss in this whole Braxton family issue, and I hate to say it, and I know y'all may not like this, but that damn Mama Evelyn, Mama Evelyn, and the dad, it starts right there. That's why I say don't start in the middle, start in the beginning. That is Mama Evelyn and Papa Braxton, child. Mama Evelyn let Tamar do whatever she wanted to do. Y'all remember when they was in that therapy with Ayana, Mom Evelyn had to almost get up and slap Tamar to tell her to shut her mouth up. They have allowed Tamar to walk around and disrespect them. Because the minute Mom Evelyn looked at Tamar and told her to be quiet, it shouldn't have been no more than one or two times, and Tamar should have shut up. She almost had to get up and slap Tamar in the damn mouth to make her shut up because she was so disrespectful to Ayana. Nobody should ever sit in front of their parents and be disrespectful to another elder in front of their parents. That should never happen. So that tells me that Mama Evelyn and Mr. Braxton, y'all have signed off on that behavior for years, which made her Well, grew her into the woman she is today, a very disrespectful young lady. You don't have to be like that. And the biggest problem is Tamar actually has talent and can sing, but her attitude and her disposition overshadows her talent. You see, it overshadows the talent. And I remember people talked about K Michelle on Love and Hip Hop when it first came out, about her attitude really hurt her career. And that's why she hadn't got off, a jump start the way she should have, because people didn't want to work with her anymore. But eventually Michelle got it together and she got a thriving career going. That is Tamar right now. Eventually, you're going to run people off and they just not going to want to work with you because they're going to consider you too difficult of a client. There's plenty of people out there that can sing. Plenty of people out there that can sing. Now, they may not be able to hit some of the notes you hit, Tamar, but they just go in the studio and auto tune it anyway. So just be careful breaking them bridges that you're breaking. You need to be building bridges and not breaking them, because once again, you're going to be over there on the island by yourself and not be able to cross that bridge to the other side. Just my opinion. Okay. Um, Last thing I'm going to talk about is all up in the air with everybody. This whole food stamp thing. I'm over it. Okay. You got this guy named Mike Davis. He is a Republican political strategist. And I know some people are on this end of it, of the spectrum of the food stamps, and some people are on this end of it. Some of y'all are saying, give these people their food stamps. And some of y'all are saying, y'all been sitting on y'all behind all this time. Y'all don't need no food stamps. I'm glad the food stamps is gone. Doesn't matter one way or another. These Republicans, in my opinion, and read the text message he posted on Twitter, 40 million of y'all have been on food stamps. He called y'all lazy. He called y'all ghetto. He said y'all need to get off your fat asses and get a job. That's exactly what he said. Matter of fact, let me find my phone so I'm gonna read it to you, just in case y'all can't see it. So these people telling y'all that there's one party who don't want to help y'all and don't want to feed y'all. That's what they're telling y'all, blaming it on that party, when all along it's them who don't want to do it, but they're going to hold it over the Democrats' head and make it seem like the Democrats are the ones who really don't want to feed y'all. And in actuality, every state has enough money to fund the program this month. They have surpluses and they have money already appropriated, but they are told not to give the food stamps out in order to make sure the Democrats look bad. But y'all all on Beyonce's good internet making all these videos about Democrats suck and all that shit. That ain't what's really happening. What's really happening is they're making it look like, and apparently it's working, because y'all really believe it's the Democrats that want y'all to go hungry, when the Republicans ain't even in Washington, D.C. So how can you vote on a bill if they don't show up to vote? But I digress. Let me read this Twitter, just this what he wrote. He said, we should only help people who can't help themselves. It's outrageous that 40 million people get food stamps. Get off your fat ghetto asses, get a job, stop reproducing, change your shitty culture, stop giving food stamps to immigrants. We don't want you here if you don't want to work. Now, all this is code language to telling people of color, get off your fat asses, change your get off your fat ghetto asses. When you hear the word ghetto, who they talking about? People of color. Get a job, stop having babies, because the rumor is all black women got a bunch of multiple kids and multiple baby daddies. That is the stereotype that's out there. This is a Republican who said this. Mark Davis. Feel free to Google it, schmoogle it, go on X, look up his name. The post is there. All right. But y'all keep thinking it's the Democrats that don't want y'all to eat. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to vote. All I'm saying, do your own research. Be careful what you read on the internet. A lot of that stuff is generated AI. It's not even real. They do an AI video and y'all run with it. A lot of it is lies. And last but not least, ladies, especially my sisters, my black women out here, get off of Beyonce's good internet, putting up videos about, I ain't got no food stamps. I'm going to go rob the store. I need my food stamps. How I'm going to feed my kids. I understand it is hard out here. I get it. It's hard out here, and not having the money to feed your kids is hard. But do not be the face of this food stamp crisis. Do not be the face of what's about to happen on Friday or Saturday when them food stamps is not replenished. Do not be the face of the people allegedly, quote, running in and out of stores grabbing food. Don't be that, because let me tell you what's going to happen. The other people may get away with it, but because of your complexion, you will be the one pepper spray. You will be the one beaten by batons, and you will be the one going to jail. Okay? The last thing you need is any type of court case or any type of police record, because you might want to try to get a job at some point. And then when you have these charges and stuff pending against you, how is that helping your kids? How is that helping your kids if you go to jail? How is that helping feed your kids if you go to court and now because I have a record, I can't get a job? Don't let them F up this for you. Our ancestors have fought. Grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents, they had fought during the civil rights movement to allow us to have certain things in this country. We have paid our dues, and everything that they shedded their blood, sweat, and tears for has been undone by another group of people in this country. So, those group of people who thought it would be okay to vote for the Mad King, Diaper Dawn, let them go back out there and fight that fight. Because we are now living in a space in this country that y'all people will believe anything social media posts. People believe whatever lie that comes out of certain people's mouths. And if no matter how much you tell them the truth, they refuse to believe it. No amount of evidence is going to change their mind. We live in a society now where people actually have to feel the burn to understand what you were trying to tell them 3, 4, 5 months ago. They're not going to believe it until it actually happens to them. Ask the farmers. Ask some of them government employees who's sitting at home shut down who voted for the Mad King. Okay? Ask some of these immigrants who can't find their family members or their family members been deported. They got Cubans. We will vote for Donald Trump. Cubans down in Miami that they have deported to Mexico. Okay? Ask some of them how all that is working out, because none of that affected them in the beginning. So they thought it was cool because they didn't think it was going to affect me, just a certain group of people that we don't care for anyway. And now that they're feeling it, you can't go back and redo an election. All of a sudden, they want us to help. I would not get off of my big ass and stand outside in that cold heat or anything and march for nobody who undid everything my ancestors fought for. Because once it all comes back together, and we hope it does, they're going to be benefiting from it again. This time, make them do the work, and you can sit on your ass and benefit off of their work. Like they've been sitting on their ass for the last 300 years, 400 years, benefiting off of our work. Not going to happen. Not under my watch. Okay? Now, if y'all want to go out there, be my guest. But I refuse to go out there and march, any parade, anything. No King's March, none. I'm not doing none of that, because you had an opportunity on November the 5th, 2024 to make a difference. And you thought one single issue was what you was going to go in there and vote for, not looking for the rest of the shit when we told you what was going to happen under Project 2025. But y'all didn't listen. So why am I going to go out there and fight for the stuff that we already had and my ancestors already fought for, so you can benefit off it again? Because you were benefiting off it when they died for it, and then you had it undone. Now you wants to come back out. No, I'm not coming back out. Y'all go fix it this time, so I can sit on my ass and benefit off of y'all hard work, like you benefited off of my ancestors' hard work. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Don't be the face of this food stamp crisis. Okay? And for some of y'all diehard Christians, I'm a Christian myself. Go down to them churches. Don't let them off the hook. You know, that one church, I'm not gonna say people's names, allegedly, who embarrassed that lady because she only gave $1,200 and she was supposed to get $2,000. Their doors should be wide open. passing out food Saturday for anybody that needs it, along with the food banks, because Trump told people not to fund the food banks. So we don't know how that's going to go. But you've been giving 10% faithfully, and they said it's going to come back tenfold. It's time for the churches to be part of the community like they say they are. It's time for them doors to open. And I ain't saying, all churches. Some churches are already doing it, but y'all look at some of these mega churches. Look at the Joe Osteens of the world. I'm just saying, and nothing against Joe Osteen, but he got a big ass church. Lots of food should be coming out of there. If your pastor live in a mansion that costs $2, $3, $4, $5 million and drive and fly on private jets and have drivers and very nice cars, it shouldn't be a problem for them to come up with $2, $3, $400,000 on Saturday to feed the low income people in their church. And if that's a problem, you might want to rethink what church you're going to. And that's nothing against churches. Please, Christian people, don't come after me. I'm just being honest. The church I go to, every the first Wednesday of every month they give out food. And they've been doing that for years, even before the food stamp crisis. They've always done that. And even if you didn't need the food, they tell you take a bag and give it to somebody who needs it. So they've always given. So always given. They've always had a little farmer market, first of the month, food, vegetables, bread, whatever they can give out. And if you didn't need the food, you take a bag, give it to an elderly person or somebody that you know that may need it. So there are churches who are already in that program doing that already. But there's a lot of them who are just collecting your money and keeping it pushing. So y'all be careful of that. All right. And with that being said, no offense to anybody in the church once again, because you church people, y'all swear y'all Christians, but y'all get in these comments and be going off on people. Um, with that being said, this is your next nation, and you guys go have a great rest of your day. And remember, don't fall for the okey doke when it comes to this whole food stamp battle. It's just really not worth it. All right, peace, and I'm out.